We are only halfway into Super Sunday when it comes to sports. Australian Open is going on at this point in time.
How halfway?
This is the second.
You're the start of the Super Sunday.
I announced to all our family members it's at 2. It started at 2, will go on till 12.
But that's one of the...
Yeah.
They are...
Half will be okay. Oh,
right.
Shit. Okay.
So, what are the 4 things?
Australian Open final. Now the India under-19 versus England under-19 final. And the latest update that we have from St. West Park, Potchefstroom, is India have won the toss and chosen to bowl.
2 other things.
And after this, at Lucknow Ekana Stadium, we have India versus New Zealand, the second T20I.
Before that, there's something.
Before that, there is the third place playoff for the FIH Hockey World Cup. And at the same time, 7 o'clock, we also have the Kalinga Stadium final.
Before, I think match is at 7:30, isn't it?
Match begins at 7.
7, okay.
7. So we have Germany versus Belgium in the FIH Hockey World Cup.
Yeah.
Prior to that, we are seeing even the Oranje, the Netherlands, take on the Kookaburras in the third place playoff.
That's immaterial.
That's immaterial. No, but for a Kookaburra fan, it hurts.
I'm saying every country that participates, you come to win the World Cup.
Exactly. And
who comes? It's like the FIFA World Cup when you have the third place.
Yep. So the Red Lions can do the double. Win back-to-back World Cups, join Germany and Australia in those ranks as the ones to win back-to-back World Cup titles. But what a story that was.
Yeah. So, good thing is that you've got lovely weather everywhere.
Yeah.
But for New Delhi, Delhi NCR,
Yep.
where it's been raining.
I thought we are in London today, honestly.
Yeah.
That is how the weather is.
It feels like typical English weather. Why? Because it's been cloudy. It's been spitting, not raining. And it is cold.
Very.
Freezing.
Very.
Don't go by Sid's t-shirt and casual jacket that he's got. But office is still
warm.
comfortable.
Exactly.
Outdoors, very, very cold. So very English weather.
And if you are in a sporting organization today, the heat will anyway be up. I mean, 4 major events. Jan 29th is indeed a red letter day. That's why I wore red today.
Yes. So here we're going to be talking about what's this score, please, Anurag? You're not showing me the Australian Open. So we are here talking about the under-19 final. That's because of I think the biggest draw for Indian fans, especially. I know the events are big, like Australian Open final or the Hockey World Cup final, but Indian interest is in the women's under-19 final and the bilateral game, that is India-New Zealand. But obviously a World Cup final is a World Cup final. It trumps any bilateral, even though this is women's cricket and junior cricket vis-a-vis a senior men's team playing. Yes, there'll be all eyeballs there.
Yep.
But I think as far as the most important event for a country today, it'll have to be a World Cup final.
Absolutely.
And so the girls are taking on a very, very tough opponent in England, a team that did not lose a single game in the Super 6 stages. India, on the other hand, had
1 loss to Australia.
And England beat Australia.
Yes, and that too while defending 100.
Yeah.
99 England made, Australia all out for 96. And again, England, white ball dominance across age groups, across formats. England men's reigning T20 ODI champions. England under-19 men reached the final in 2022. England women's team also in the final of the under-19, and 2022 they reached the final, the women in the World Cup, Women's World Cup.
Yes.
White ball dominance, England, no team to beat it at this point in time.
So if you take a look at India's decision, they won the toss, they have decided that they'll be chasing, right?
Chasing, yes.
They're bowling first, which normally in T20 cricket has always been, the go-to strategy for most teams. But I don't know, I'm a bit surprised. Especially in junior level tournaments where that maturity sometimes is lacking, and in a final where the pressure and all is there. See, senior team, they've got the experience, they have the maturity that even in a big game you can chase. But at junior level tournaments, I'm a firm believer of, and big games like a World Cup game, because leave aside Shafali, Verma, who's got an experience of playing a World Cup final, that too at a senior level. Nobody else has got that experience playing there for the first time. Nerves are going to be there. So even if it's a small total, and keeping in mind what England did with Australia. Defended a small. So even if it's a small total, I think you'll have the nerves. I see, we are here miles away and taking a call here, sitting here miles away from Potchefstroom in South Africa. Very beautiful, quiet place. I've been there.
St. West Park.
Practice game.
Ah.
Potchefstroom.
Was it
India South Africa tour 2006? They had a warm up
Oh,
game
yes.
before the day. It was a famous game because it marked the return of a certain
Saurav Ganguly? Yep.
And then he played the Joburg Test, of course, after that. But that practice game is when he joined the squad.
Yes.
So he came to Potchefstroom and then came to the ground. And you know what? Media was like, all eyes.
And legend stay in Potchefstroom, Neeraj Chopra. He trains in Potchefstroom, and Potchefstroom is a very, very important venue for Neeraj Chopra, because after that elbow injury, the first event that he played and got success in was Potchefstroom.
Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, I don't know. India, of course, would have gauged the conditions better, and they're there. So, obviously, a bit, thought must have gone into deciding that. But I don't know. Personally,
See, because India achieved the highest successful chase in this under-19 World Cup in that first game against South Africa. They chased down 170. And the most heartening thing, I think Shafali Verma would want to chase, because the Indian batting has not been reliant on her at all. It has been the likes of Delhi's Shweta Sehrawat, Andhra's Gongadi Trisha, who have led that. So Richa Ghosh and Shafali Verma have both been kept on the sidelines if you have to look at run scoring. Shweta Sehrawat in particular, Virender Sehwag, yes.
Delhi girl.
Same Virender Sehwag policy. See ball, hit ball, back it to the hilt. And look at her average, 100 plus strike rate of 150.
Yeah. I read a wonderful story about her today of how dad used to tell everyone my daughter plays very good cricket,
Yes.
but nobody would believe. And now that she's doing so well at the under-19 level, he's like, all those friends are calling him and telling him, wow, yeah, your daughter is really very good.
She had to be good because she used to play in Sonnet. Shweta Sehrawat. Yes. Sonnet has been the place for all great players to kind, led by a super coach who's unfortunately, sadly no more, Tarak Sinha. So she's from Sonnet, Shweta Sehrawat, and one of the names to look forward to. And there are three more players in this Indian cricket team whose bowling has been simply phenomenal. Mannat Kashyap from Patiala, her left arm orthodox, and one of the stars in this team who's the leading wicket taker, Parshvi Chopra from Bulandshahr. Her spin and the way how she loops that delivery, how she bowls batters around their legs, sight to watch. 9 wickets so far in this under-19 World Cup for Parshvi Chopra, along with one more of the players who's there in the England team, Hannah Barker. She's got 9.
Wow.
So it is going to be a very even match, and I think India's batting, barring that Australia game, did not let them down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they have been clinical. Against South Africa, they were clinical. Shweta Sehrawat in that knock of 92 hit 20 boundaries. 80 of her runs were in boundaries. So that is why, that is the way. Oops. Yeah, so this is the thing. India versus England. This is the playing 11 that we have. Shafali Verma, Shweta Sehrawat. But don't go by Shweta Sehrawat's opening position. She can float up to number 4 or number 5 as well. She did that in one of the games against UAE. Gongadi Trisha, if you want a base anchor, she can be at the top, along with Shafali Verma. Then you have Richa Ghosh, who's obviously had experience in international level as well. One of the stars in that India-Australia series. This bowling lineup is what will help India in a very, very good position. Archana Devi, Parshvi Chopra, Sonam Yadav, Mannat Kashyap, Titas Sadhu. All these 5 players are brilliant. Shweta Sehrawat, Soumya Tiwari from my hometown, Bhopal.
You have some 5 hometowns.
Whatever, but she is from there, Soumya Tiwari. And but Shafali Verma is from Haryana. I'm not from there, so.
No, I said you have 5 hometowns, so you can claim anyone.
Anyone, yes.
Someone who's from Bombay can be your hometown. Go
Yep, this is the individual, Parshvi Chopra. One of the best leg spinners currently, and if trained well, can be the future. And this sums up kind of a glorious period when you have for India women's cricket. The under-19 team are in the final. The women's tri-series, India and South Africa are in the final prior to the T20 World Cup. And the Women's Premier League will start in March. So this January, February, March, lot of promise.
I think the one thing that, if there were any doubters about, I'm personally very happy that you've got the Women's League. But I say if there were any doubts over it, it was like whether you have enough good quality players to be part of those 5 franchises. I mean, the depth is what people were worried about, because yes, you've got a few very good players. But do you have the depth to have 5 very strong team and everyone like at the level? I'm saying that, this under-19, you're reaching the final, allows you to see some young players. They are getting exposure to be playing at such a high level.
Yes.
So them coming in will make that particular league also strong. And if you had any fears, as I said, of depth and not having very good players, I think that is going to be addressed to a large extent based on these young girls who've reached the final. No matter what happens,
Yep.
they've reached the final. I may be taking your leave very soon.
Okay.
You will continue on this because there will be another breaking news.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he's on match point. But what I wanted to know, everywhere that I've read, any analysis, everywhere, England are the overwhelming favorites. in this
Absolutely.
one. But what do you reckon? Is it like 60-40?
I would say 55-45 in favor of India.
Oh.
Because England have not encountered the guile that India's bowlers have gotten. Left arm orthodox, leg spinner, they haven't encountered that yet. But England, yes, you cannot take them lightly because they are the white ball kings and queens also, if you have to look at it. So it is, and Shafali Verma is boosted by the fact, okay, I have had the hurt of playing in the 2020 T20 World Cup final, the Commonwealth Games final. Just go out and enjoy. And she seemed very calm in that press conference which I attended yesterday. She was very calm. And it was a birthday, incidentally. So now, birthday plus the hurt of 2 finals, she wants the World Cup as her trophy. That's the ultimate gift that she wants. So that is why India versus England.
And what a gift it will be. She'll join the likes of Mohammad Kaif, you've got Unmukh Chand, you've got
Prithvi Shaw. And you've got Raj Bawa. Also, 2022.
Yes.
And she'll be the first Indian women cricketer to hold an ICC trophy. Something the likes of, unfortunately, Mithali Raj, Harmanpreet Kaur have not yet had the chance. Jhulan Goswami, they did not get it. So now, Shafali Verma can script history today at Potchefstroom. So one hopes that chasing India can do well. England bowling lineup, especially Hannah Barker, because she is a bowler who does not rely much on guile. She relies on length and speed. Flattish leg breaks, more in the Kumble mold. That's how it is. And so we are into championship point here at the Rod Laver.
Saved 2 championship points.
Well,
It's a pass.
brief sparkle before the flame, and
No, that was out.
Done it.
it's done. It's number 22 for Joker.
Yes.
Yep. So that is how, for people who are joining us at this point now, the latest news that we have is that India has won the toss and they have chosen to bowl against England in Potchefstroom. This is the lineup. Shafali Verma is the captain. Shweta Sehrawat, who has been India's ultimate batter in the Under-19 World Cup, she will be there as one of the key players in this. Soumya Tiwari, Gongadi Trisha can also open. Then you got Richa Ghosh, Krishita Basu, and then you have the bowlers Titash Sadhu, Mannat Kashyap, another one of the most impressive bowlers who has done well in Under-19 World Cup from Patiala. Then you've got Archana Devi, very, very inspiring story of Archana Devi as to how she had to fight the odds in order to make it to the Under-19 World Cup. Then you've got Parshvi Chopra, and then you have Sonam Yadav. So India will be now, as I had mentioned, why I gave this team a 55-45% chance, because England might not be able to tackle the guile of Parshvi Chopra and Mannat Kashyap in a big way. And remember, Mannat Kashyap's economy rate has been under 5 this Under-19 World Cup. So she knows how to control one part of the runs, and she knows how to do it effectively and consistently. England can rely on a lot of attacking cricket. But remember, in the previous encounter that they had in the semi-final, it was a low-scoring thriller. And India, having gotten over the knockout blues, especially against a team like New Zealand, that has given them